Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you guys doing out there? Going to be an interesting day today. My partner in crime decided that he won't be able to show up today. He's having some health problems, and I understand what's going on. He struggled yesterday in our telecast and everything for a while, and there's some things going on that he's trying to get corrected, so he'll be back soon. Anyway, I'm here. So let's get started. I don't want to do this thing and keep putting DJT out there. I'm gonna call him DJT today. So if you catch me calling him anything else but DJT, stop me, people, and correct my butt because I shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, I want to talk about some of the other countries outside of the United States who are having a profound effect on what is going on here in this country. And I watch what's going on out there because what they do out there outside these borders affect us inside of these borders. There are a lot of countries out there who are being very, very progressive. And there were things that we did in this country and everything to exert whatever pressure that we could on the countries and stuff outside of our borders. Well, I'm not going to blame everything that happened here because these policies and stuff that we've been dealing with goes back decades. And some of those policies and stuff, each administration kept some of the policies, threw some of them out, kept some of the policies, threw the rest of them out. Each administration, whether they was in office for 4 years or 8 years, they had their policies. And DJT has his policies. He was in for 4 years. He missed the second four because he people realized that he wasn't the answer to their problem, and for some reason, another 4 years later, they picked him back up again. But that's another story. Um, these policies that we started and stuff with inside of this country affects what is going on right now. And everybody out there and stuff has to accept some responsibility and stuff for what's going on right now. I'm not going to sit there and blame this whole thing on DJT. I am going to sit here and try to explain to everybody where we at now, what started this stuff. Well, decades ago, private industry here, which is separate from governmental entities, and we need to have that separation, private and public. Okay, private entity who suppose to be the driving force behind the economy inside of this country decided decades ago that the labor costs in this country was too high. And because the labor costs in this country were too high, and they want their thing, that thing is, and Wall Street had something to do with it, drove what was going on. If you couldn't bring forth profit and everything, so the people who invested into your country, then Wall Street, in a few words here, they denigrated that company, or they had some effect upon the board of directors, and maybe had the board to fire their CEOs because they were the ones who were loaning these companies the money to keep going for investments and everything. So back in the early 21st century and in the 20th, the last part of the 20th century, we were investing heavily in research and development. And that was what kept us going. We had research and development. And in those research and developments and everything, our country progressed because the research brought forth new new processes, new developments and stuff that had a profound effect upon this country and the world. Well, once these companies decided that they wanted to produce, it was easier and cheaper to produce their products and stuff outside of this country. That's what they did. They moved manufacturing outside of this country. They moved it into developing countries. And a lot of these countries now who have become highly developed countries, you look at Vietnam, South Korea, China, India, all of those were underdeveloped countries. They had huge amounts of population that was poor and there was no development going on at all. But now, in the year 2025, you can look at all those countries and stuff and everything, buddy, and I'm telling you, they have become highly developed. They have turned their countries around. And they did that and everything because of some of our failures and what we and what private industry and stuff did and what the public entity and stuff did. Once we started slowly getting away from research and development and everything, um, we started, instead of using research and development and everything to make our country better, we decided that we were going to stop technology from getting to these underdeveloped countries. Well, when you go from, when you make a decision, a policy decision to do something, then there are repercussions behind those policy decisions. And the repercussions that's happening now is that we took technology, tried to take technology away from these developing countries who were underdeveloped, who were developing. These countries decided to, hey, well, they're going to take this away from us, then we're going to develop our own stuff. And right now, that's what has happened and stuff to us. Uh, when in the early part of the years or whatever, China was always the enemy and stuff to this country. Yeah, I mean, a profound enemy. They were on the same level as Russia is and stuff to us. But right now, at this point in time, in the year 2025 and everything, we are looking to them for some of their technology and their raw materials. And China has decided we ain't gonna give you shit. You pushed us out, we're gonna push you out. And they're successfully doing it without being arrogant about it. Well, one of our most powerful companies that we had, a couple of years ago, they were very thriving, and that was Apple. Apple had moved their manufacturing over to China, and they started using this country called Foxconn. And right now, Foxconn is a very, very powerful company there in China because in communist society, the government decides who wins and who loses. So Foxconn was successful in getting the Chinese government to give them money to do what they're doing and stuff now. And they also, during that time, when they were trying to develop, and Apple had given China and Foxconn a lot of their work and everything, they decided that they were going to twist Apple's arm because they figured, hey, Apple can't go no place else but to us because we are making these iPhones, and these iPhones is making this company rich. So what the Chinese government did, and they forced Foxconn to do, was to give China money so they can create and develop engineers who were going to be able to produce a better clock or a better watch or a better phone or a better iPad or whatever that Apple wanted them to produce and everything. They needed scientists and engineers and stuff to do it. So I told China, you need to give us money so we can create these scientists and these engineers so we can produce your product and stuff and make it better. Apple believed them. Over 10 years ago, they believed them and they started giving China or their Foxconn a lot of money. What Foxconn did with the money and the Chinese government did with the money and everything was they sent their kids and stuff, and a lot of the workers and stuff who were very smart and stuff to school to be engineers. A couple of About a year ago, there was an interview Apple did. Tim Cook, who was the CEO of Apple, did, and they asked him, could they bring manufacturing of the iPhones back here to the United States? And he said, we have one major problem. We have to have engineers in place to so we can have them to be able to produce a high quality product here in the United States. And this country does not have the engineers that China has. And China has engineers because for over 10 years, Apple was giving China and Foxconn a lot of money, somewhere in the neighborhood of $55 billion a year, so they can develop engineers. Well, you can go, he said, and it's absolutely true because you talk to the folks in China and they tell you the same thing. You come here to the United States and bring your business and stuff here, and because of the high tech that is needed to produce an iPhone or an iPad or whatever, you have to have engineers and stuff in place because they have to be the ones and everything to make sure that the employees and stuff are doing what they need to do to create a high quality product. But if you brought the manufacturing and stuff back here in the United States and you put out a call for engineers because that's what you need, it was they're going to tell you, well, we put out a call for engineers and it might fill maybe a room. But you go to China and ask for engineers, they can fill two stadiums. I mean, football stadiums with engineers. That's how many they had and stuff in that country. And that's because Apple had invested in that country and invested in their technology and invested in creating scientists and engineers to produce their products and everything. So after so long, and they had so many engineers that were coming out, Foxconn did not have enough room for all the engineers that they were producing because Apple was giving them all that money. So what the Chinese government and stuff did was they moved those people, engineers, over into different companies like Yao Ming, BYD, and all the other companies and stuff over there who needed engineers and everything to produce a better watch or a better animal. And that's what they have done. They have taken those engineers and they're using them and stuff to improve their country to become a very, very, very high tech, high tech place and stuff now that puts almost every nation in this country to shame what they are doing and stuff in that company, in that country. So now we think that United States, here in this country, we think that we still top dog. Well, people, that's not true anymore. We're not top dog anymore. And when you think that you are someplace where you want to be, and you actually are not where you supposed to be, and you keep thinking and telling people, I'm the top dog, I'm the top dog, I'm the top dog, they stop doing the things necessary to be stay a top dog. Our schools, most of them that we have, especially in the public schools or whatever, some of the public schools, are not developing engineers. They are not developing the personnel and the people that they need to bring this country back into the 21st century. The technology that's going on now, the artificial intelligence and stuff that's going on now. The kids that are coming out of these schools are not ready for AI. They are not. There, some of them are, but a lot of them are not. Over the years and stuff, if you look at these top universities and stuff, uh, India sent their kids and stuff over. The ones who could, they sent their kids here to this country to be educated, to become top-notch scientists and researchers and whatever. And once they got themselves trained and everything, they brought them back to India, and now they're using them. China did the same thing. They were producing engineers there in China, and they also their kids and stuff were being sent here to our schools, our top-notch schools, our University of Chicago and our Harvards and our Yales and all the other schools, University of Penn and stuff, all those top-notch schools and stuff in the United States, Stanford. I can name a whole list of top-notch schools in here. Most of the people who went there were foreigners, and those foreigners and stuff were trained and stuff, and a lot of them stayed. Some of them stayed here. A lot of them went back to their countries and stuff and everything, and started developing their countries and stuff until we become high tech places and stuff where they can produce products and stuff that we do not see here in the United States right now. And the reason why we don't see it is because we are afraid of it. Oof. They have electric cars. Tesla first came on board. They were producing electric cars, and I have to give my boy a upper hand there. He did a wonderful job and stuff in bringing Tesla to where it was 2 years ago. Well, doing that and he, the CEO of Tesla and everything, he took his people and everything and started producing these electric cars. And his wages and stuff were comfortable and high enough for the people that worked there. And it took him a long time to perfect the electric cars. Well, during that process and everything, what he did not do and everything was to continue his research and development and everything. He was more into manufacturing that car, getting it out the door, because he told those bean counters from Wall Street that he was going to get these many cars and stuff out the door. If he didn't, they were not going to fund him. Well, that was his main purpose, get those electric cars out the door. And during that time, he forgot about research and development. The only thing he wanted to do was get those electric cars out there and put that big price on them. The cars was 80, 90, $100,000, and people were buying them because they were electric. Well, today, people, you can go over into China, and they have several car companies and stuff there who are producing electric cars. They are 10 times better than the Teslas and stuff that we are driving right here today. Our cars and stuff here, when Tesla first sent them off the block and everything, the battery only lasted 200 miles. You had to recharge the battery. Now they kicked it up to about 400 miles that you can go range on a battery charge. Then you have to sit for maybe an hour to recharge your batteries and stuff all up, and then you get back on the highway and get you maybe another 300, 400 miles out of it. Well, those batteries that they put in those first Tesla cars and everything were the old cell batteries and stuff and everything. It wasn't those high tech batteries that are coming out of these cars that's coming from China and stuff now. Their cars, they can go 700 miles on a charge, people. One charge. Our cars, electric cars, anyone who's driving a Tesla car, an older model Tesla car and everything has taken their car back because they have those old batteries and stuff in those cars. And those old batteries are worn out. They can't do what they're supposed to do. The efficiency and everything has gone down. So they have to go back and send the cars back so they can put different batteries and stuff in there. Well, to put the higher advanced batteries and stuff into those older Tesla cars, you're looking at probably $15,000 to $20,000. So you've already paid $80,000 for it. To put a new battery in there, you got to pay another $20,000, and it's an older car. So what's happened that all those cars, 400,000 cars that he put off the assembly line back when he first started building those cars and everything, most of those cars now are sitting somewhere in these Tesla dealerships and they're hiding them. They are there, people, and they're being hit. So the newer ones are coming out, cars is coming out, they also don't have those high tech batteries that are coming off the assembly lines in China. But they're still charging $100,000 for those cars. So people, all you folks out there who are driving those electric cars that came, the older ones and the newer models of Tesla cars and everything, you are buying a dud. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say they're duds. They are nice cars, but they do not compare to what is coming off the assembly lines over there in China. They are sending millions of cars off the assembly line every year, and they're selling them all around the world, and people are buying them. They are not no longer buying these Tesla cars. They are buying these Chinese cars because they are head and shoulders better than the Tesla cars that these people are riding around here and paying almost $100,000 for. And guess what, people? You can get one of those cars, real nice ones, all the bells and whistles in them, for about $40,000 US money. So our government is not allowing those cars in this country because they don't want them to compete with the American cars. The cars, electric cars that are coming off the line, the Ford cars that are coming off the assembly line, the GM cars that are coming off the line that are electric. They don't want to have that competition. So China can't sell their cars here in the United States, but they're selling them every place else around the world, and they are buying them. We cannot sell our electric cars. We sell some of them, but with the price that they are putting those cars out there for, these people are buying these things up. All of that came from the engineers that Apple trained 20 years ago. I know Tim Cook is probably lying in bed every night and kicking himself real hard that his company paid for the technology and all the other stuff that is coming out of this country over there in China. They paid for those engineers to get them trained. So, people, as you can see, and when Donald Trump put some pressure on him and everything, old Tim walked up in that to the White House and gave Donald Trump a gold, whatever it was, some gold crap and everything that was probably wasn't worth but maybe $1 million, maybe. which is jump change nowadays. Anybody that says, oh, well, I'm a millionaire and stuff like that, if you only got $2 or $3 million, you not crap. You might well be. That's no money at all. Okay, people? So he just gave him that. And probably one of the reasons why he did that and everything, he didn't want them to do any more research and stuff to find out that he's the one, his company was the one that betrayed the United States and trained all those people over there. So all you people out there who listen to this show, be aware that those iPhones that you have in your hand that was built in China help them, the money that these things we paid for help to create what you see in China. They took that money that we paid with these phones and paid for educating those engineers and scientists that are now sitting over there and they're doing all kinds of work over there. You name it, they're doing it. They high speed rail, their bridges and construction and all of that, all the AI stuff came from these engineers that Apple paid to get educated. One of these days, people, you guys are going to hear about this company called BDAO. uh, United States again won't allow them to come over into this country. They don't allow their technology to hit here. Well, BDAO is the competition for our old GPS system. Everybody knows, you know what GPS is, don't you? Global positioning satellites that we use every day to find out where we at, and that we use to find our iPhones, or we use to find somebody's phone, or we use to do our navigation and stuff all around the country and around the world. They call it GPS. Well, our military and stuff first started out and built the GPS when they were spending money on research and development. Well, today our GPS system and everything has flaws in it. It doesn't use, it's not capable of using the AI. The satellites and everything that are being used for global positioning and stuff and everything is a lot further out into the atmosphere than the satellites that China has put up. And anyway, one of these days, you folks and stuff gonna be able to put some pressure on whoever it is and be able to access BDAO's global positioning service. Once you do, you won't go back to GPS. Guaranteed. Apple, thank you. I thank you for what you've done. I know the people in the United States are probably thanking you also. I know the government's probably not or don't want to, but hey, that's the price you pay and stuff for building your stuff overseas. Now, earlier, say in the early part of the 21st century and everything, we were riding sky high and everything because of what Apple had done. And now they're what, $2 or $3 trillion company and everything because those people in China and stuff have produced a very, very good mousetrap. Well, back then, China was buying more iPhones than anybody in the world. Well, they're not buying any iPhones hardly anymore. None at all. China has kicked out all of our major companies. Google is no longer allowed in China. Facebook is no longer in China. The iPhone is almost non-existent there in China. They got their own stuff, and it's better. It is better, people. So I don't want to beat up on Apple. They did what they had to do to get the iPhones to us that we are using right now. But sometimes when you do some things and then you stop your own research and development and you lose control of your research and development, which is the start of new stuff, new technology that's coming down the pipe. When you don't have your research and development coming down the pipe, people who are improving your mousetrap, you're eventually going to die. You're eventually going to become a dinosaur. And that's what we become, a dinosaur. Anyone who has an Apple phone knows that Apple has been trying to use AI, put it on their systems, on their phone, on their computers, on their iPads. Well, our good friends over in China won't let that happen. They had the capabilities to do it. They won't let it happen because they don't want Apple competing with their systems. Now, they had a whip. What? Tim Cook and the boys up there in whatever park it is and in California where the headquarters and stuff is at. I don't know what they're going to do, but they better start doing something to change the course of where these iPhones and everything is going because I guarantee you, people, these folks over there in those borders of China and stuff, they are producing a better mousetrap that is challenging Apple's ecosystem, and I guarantee you it's 10 times better. All of you people out there who use Wi Fi in China, Wi Fi is becoming a dinosaur. We'll talk about that tomorrow or whenever I'm by here by myself because Ted doesn't like to talk about all that technology stuff and everything. He doesn't understand it, so he hates it. Anyway, we'll talk about that then. But there's a lot of stuff going on over there, people. I'm gonna doing our regular shows and stuff. I'm gonna put like little snippets of the things and stuff and everything that's happening over there in China that you guys can see. You know, a little short, maybe 2 or 3 minute snippets and stuff. I'm trying to put those things together. I did a couple of them and stuff and everything. Nobody said anything about it, so I'm gonna continue to do it and let you guys see it right in between our intro and everything. And when we come on the air, there'll be like a 2 or 3 minute snippet and stuff of some of the things that are going on over there in our beloved China. I like those guys over there. They got a better mousetrap. Man, it is unbelievable what's going on there. Unbelievable. I am truly amazed at them and what they're doing. All right, people. We coming to the end, and we did about 30 minutes, so that should be long enough for us. But I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Old Ben Marsalis on Midas Touch, the old boy out there. Ben, you're doing a good job out there in your streaming news, folks, and stuff out there. Old Ben has got up to 6 million subscribers on his channel, and he's already now decided to syndicate his people and stuff over into Australia and Canada. Well, the Canada portion and stuff is already started to come online, and most of you people probably hasn't heard of this guy, but there's a guy up there named Charlie Angus. Listen to him. Go up there and listen to old Charlie Angus, man. He's a damn good Canadian, and he talks about why Canada has done what they have done by alienating us from them to export stuff into the United States. Why China, why Canada is boycotting us? Because as you, some of you folks look around who be in Las Vegas, who's down in Florida, around Disney World and all those places, you're going to notice that the Canadians aren't there in Arizona and stuff. Canadians are not coming back and selling. They've sold their homes or got them on a chopping block right now to be sold. In Florida, they're doing the same thing. They have abandoned their homes in Florida when they come for the winter. The winter birds from Canada and also the summer are not there. They've avoided Las Vegas. They're not there. They are not bringing their Canadian dollars across the border into the United States. And the reason why they're doing it is because of DJT and his tariff stuff that he's got going on. So, according to Charlie, it's going to continue. And they have a resistance going on, a resistance to the United States and the policies and stuff that DJT has enacted, which is creating a lot of problems and stuff around the world with a lot of other countries, including China, including India. There's a long list. Even Japan, they canceled their trade meeting over here in the United States because they're tired of DJT and his boys, his posse, a bunch of line posses, posse people. Well, that's another story. Anyway, get a chance to watch him and you'll find out why. Charlie Angus, and do a search for Charlie Angus in Canada and stuff on his show, The Midas Touch in Canada. And he will tell you on his channel and explain to you and stuff why Canada is resisting um, buying United States goods, and they also forcing their country not to export Canadian products and stuff in the United States. So, and for all those who really don't know, yes, China is a huge trading partner with us, but Canada is probably the biggest trading partner right across the board up there in the north. They are our, they were our biggest trading partner. They no longer are. They're taking their stuff, taking their marbles, and they're playing in other countries and letting them have their products. And they're canceling a lot of contracts here in the United States. A lot of contracts that's worth a lot of money, and it affects a lot of people and a lot of jobs here in the United States. And DJT, you can't keep firing those people for giving up bad news. The bad news is there. People see it. You guys gonna see it, and it's not getting any better, people. It is going to get worse. We have not even felt the backlash yet that's going to happen to this country in the next several months. Get ready. So, anyway, I've enjoyed my time here with you all. I hope some of the things that I told you guys about has enlightened you all. And if I didn't explain it right, put some comments down there and say, hey, I don't understand what you're saying and everything. Or can you give me some more information about this? Or where can I go to find this stuff? Let me know. I will tell you. Thank you. Have a good day. Hopefully, Ted will be back tomorrow. See you then. Bye bye.